the yearling birds and all birds, about the strain of the birds. You talk about the F16 that he won national races, and then those are the preferred distances of the F16 and maybe go further up to, now we like to breed to go further with the same birds.
So tell us about F16, your famous pigeon, and his father.
The base breeder on this loft is a Zwarte Diamant. It's black diamonds in English, but we prefer to call him Zwarte Diamant. It's a nice black checkered cock. He's a 100% herrings bird. He's from 2005, and he's really the base breeder on his loft. He's a grandfather of many famous children. One of the most famous children on this loft is the F16. F16 has won the first national La Souterraine, so that was the preferred distance and the first race on the former loft of Bart and Hans. Also a sister of his and also daughter of the Zwarte Diamant is Miss Poznan. She is an Olympiad bird in Poznan in 2011. F16 was also an ace bird in Budapest, so and he has become a really good breeder as well. The list of children and grandchildren, both of the Black Diamond and the F16, is really long. Even now on this new setup, they started to race last year the really long distance races. We already won 2 provincial races, and both are children, grandchildren, F16 Zwarte Diamant.
Yeah.
So normally this strain has been doing very well on the 400-mile race, and also they had a 9th national ace birds this year with the youngsters, and also this one is a grandchild of F16.
Son of F16.
Yeah. Children, there are 23 children of F16 on the breeding loft?
35.
Oh, 35. Even 35 children, direct children of the F16 on the breeding loft that have great offspring. So the first results were there last year.
And already a 9th, you say? 9th ace?
Ace bird, yes.
The young bird race?
Over the 500 kilometers, yeah.
This was an ace pigeon young birds or ace pigeon old birds?
Young birds.
Young birds.
Yes. These are the best 2 young birds, and they came from the same couple. And the father is Cherry Diamond, and he is also a son of the F16. So grandson, Zwarte Diamant, son F16, that is on the breeding loft. And the 2 best young birds are, again, children of the F16. After the old bird season, the yearling and old bird season is finished, they will be selected, and then they will go onto the loft and don't come out until half of February. The youngsters will be put on the old loft then, of the old birds. As from mid-February, they will be trained 2 or 3 days a week, and that will be built up slightly, and they go to their first club race half of March, the yearlings and the old birds.
That is how far?
100 miles.
100 miles.
Yeah. Beginning of May, they go to 200 miles. And then also after these races, they change from the light feeding to the high fat feeding, where we already talked about for the young birds.
And what do you do for vaccinating the old ones?
Only paramyxo and smallpox.
And when do you do this?
In February.
Ja, en de andere in maart.
And in March.
Eerste paramyxo.
First paramyxo in February and then smallpox in March.
You pox the old ones?
Yeah.
Yeah? And how many times you vaccinate?
Every year.
But how many times?
Once.
Only once?
Once time, yeah.
Once paramyxo and 1 time pox.
Yes.
Old ones.
Yes.
And yeah, they train
Okay.
on the loft, but they will also be driven by Nance as well. So when she's training the young birds, it can be that in the morning at 5 or 5:30 she's already gone with the old ones. Then she comes home, and then Bart is ready waiting with the young birds, and so So
Okay.
they will be taken away as well.
Okay.
From the 20th of April until half May, all birds train twice a day. As from half of May, they go to the 350-mile races, and then they only train once a day, because otherwise it would be too heavy if they would be training twice a day.
And
as
when
well.
you say train, you mean taking away from the loft?
No, training
Here.
yeah. When they don't train well, they will be put in a basket and taken away, so they have to train.
On average, how long do they fly around here?
Twice a day for 1 hour.
For 1 hour.
Yes.
And they're flying this whole time.
Yes.
And your system is Widowhood
Total widowhood in the chaos system.
and the chaos. And you fly, so you're flying both sexes, male and female.
Yes.
Yes.
Females are also on a separated system, so they are not seeing a male until basketing.
Yeah. So the loft has been built up with a compartment for the cocks and a compartment for the hens, and in between there's a cuddling room. For the short races until 350 miles, they won't see each other before the race, only when they come home. And then they can go to the cuddling room together and stay for about 20 minutes, I think, in the cuddling room together. When they go to the longer races, they see each other in the cuddling room before basketing. 1 hour to 1 hour.
In the cuddling room. And this is, we showed it in the video, it's got a lot of dark places for them to hide in. You have nesting bowls in there?
Yes.
You have nesting material also?
No,
Just the bowl.
just no.
Speak about a little bit about your chaos system.
What is a chaos system? Chaos system is really easy when you have a big loft like this, because it's not a fixed system. It's not like you have the total widowhood, you have
Classic.
the classic widowhood, and that's really a system, everything on time. But the chaos system, in fact, every week is different, every day is different. It depends on do the birds have the right form, are they healthy, how is the weather, how was their former race, was the race heavy, was the race light, did they perform well or didn't they perform well? And Bart and Hans are really keeping a real close eye on it, and when they perform well, they get treated a bit better, so they can see each other longer in the cuddling room, or things like that, small things.
Being in the cuddling room, what is different about chaos versus just showing them?
The difference is they had a really heavy flight. They won't see each other, or when they didn't perform well,
Okay,
they won't see each other.
okay,
So they go directly to their widowhood box.
okay.
So it's not because it's not like on total widowhood.
Oh, you
normally they always get to see their hen
Yeah,
or
yeah.
their partner.
Yeah.
But in chaos system, they don't. It just depends.
Ah.
If they're not healthy, they won't see each other either.
So Yeah. your particular family of pigeons flies very well on those hard, rough types of days, I'm told. My information is that your pigeons excel very well when the weather is more difficult. You want to explain that verse?
Strain of the Zwarte Diamant and the F-16, and we've experienced that both they can perform well on a short distance as on a long distance, as well as on with heavy weather, so headwinds or tailwind.
So they are really an all-around family of pigeons.
They're kind of all-round pigeons, yes. It's
Wat is op het water geklopt om dat
the
te doen?
reason why it is so difficult to measure if the birds are really good with heavy weather is because the location of Oud-Turnhout here, Schuurhoven, is the farthest distance in Belgium. So when there's heavy weather in Belgium, you need eastern wind, and that's warm, heavy wind. But when there's eastern wind, the prices nationally aren't on this spot, but on the other side.
Uh-huh.
So we can race locally very well, but not nationally. We can't measure it because the wind is not good for this.
I see.
So there's about 100 miles difference with the beginning of Belgium and where this loft is.
And what about also there's a feeding system Different for the old ones as versus the young
Same
ones?
system.
Same system.
Same system. So you're using the high fat,
Yes.
you're using the peanuts, you're feeding twice a day.
Yes.
What medication program do you follow in the old bird season?
He consults the vet Raf Herbots every
Day 2
It's
times.
strictly by what Ralph recommends.
Yes.
If he
4 or 5 weeks. The droppings are being tested.
Uh-huh.
When the results aren't there, Bart or Nans go to Raf with some birds. I don't know how many do you take? 12 birds of that?
Yes, 12 or 20.
20 sometimes.
Yeah.
And then it's possible an antibiotic cure will
Okay.
be given, respiratory or
Kanker.
Canker.
canker.
Okay.
Or, yeah.
Than most
Yeah.
people.
Most people give the yellow drops in the beak, but Bart give him the yellow drops in the nose.
No,
No.
2 days before chipping, 4 days for the race.
4 days before the race,
Yes,
2 days before shipping, because they're in the basket for 2 nights.
yes.
When you put it through the nose, you have to open the beak, and then you can see that the drops are
Yep.
coming
Yep.
to the throat as well. So
Yep.
both for them. Terrain
Okay.
is the most favorite race here,
And Augustus.
and that's end of August. They've won twice the national race. La Souterrain F16 has won one national, and the other one,
Chef.
Chef. Yeah, Chef.
Ja, en we
another
hebben
bird.
met Lady Diamond een tweede nationaal. Hij heeft
Ja.
verschillende keer tweede en derde
Yeah.
nationaal.
And also several times second national, so top 10 national La Souterrain. And then sometimes
Sometimes, always.
he always uses, yes, but there's an exception, he always uses an antibiotic cure to give him a boost
When?
before the race of La Souterrain, because that's the really most important race. But this only works when the birds didn't got any antibiotics during the season before. This only works when they didn't get any.
Yeah,
any
it's you
antibiotics.
using it as a boost.
As a boost, yeah.
Yes, okay. And there are a lot of things that do the same type of thing.
Bart wants to share a motivation trick.
Okay.
One motivation trick that is now going directly from Turnhout to the US is sometimes Bart puts the cocks on the hen's loft and the hens on the cock's loft a few days before basketing, but then he doesn't show them their partner
Okay.
before basketing, and that works as well. Not every week.
No, it's
Not
When you do
every
it every week, it doesn't work anymore.
One time.
That's
Yep.
one time in a season, so but that boosts as well.
Okay, so this has been a very good seminar here.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it.